Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we've got one case of 2024 Leaf Vivid Baseball to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know we'll go live at eBay Live. Also, mention no purchase necessary for link down in the description. Hope everyone's having a good start to their weekend. Box number 1. Liam Peterson, 4/6. Ronald Acuna Jr., 4 of 8. AJ Garcia, 6 of 8. Landon Rupp, 3 of 6. Brody Brecht, 1 of 8. Eduardo Tate, 1 of 1. And Rentaro Sasaki, 7 of 10. Malcolm Moore, 2 of 7. Carson Benj, 3 of 5. Jason Churio, 3 of 5. Jacob Melton, 1 of 4. Chase Burns, 4 of 5. Kobe Mayo, 4 of 10. And Leo DeVries, 1 of 5. Box number 3, Adolfo Sanchez, 1 of 1. Jordan Lawler, 1 of 5. Chase Petty, 2 of 7. Chris Cortez, 8 of 10. Peter Montero, 4 of 9. Brittany Play, 1 of 1 for Henry Lane. And Jesus Mate, 7 of 10. RJ Austin, 6 of 6. Ethan Petrie, 2 of 4. Noble Meyer, 1 of 3. Young Pio Fernandez, 9 of 9. Lenny Dykstra, illustrations, 10 of 10. Griffo Farrell, 3 of 5. And Emmanuel Rodriguez, 3 of 3. Box number 5, Devin Taylor, 4 of 10. Mike Schmidt, 8 of 9. Gavin Gravok, 4 of 9. David Matoma, 9 of 10. Walker Yanek, 7 of 7. Tyson Lewis, 5 of 5. And Connor Griffin, 2 of 9. Box number 6, Brendan Summerhill, 3 of 3. Jeff Bagwell, 8 of 9. Joe Zwalugo, 8 of 8. Braylon Payne, 9 of 10. Luis Morales, 8 of 9. Drake Baldwin, printing plate, 1 of 1. And Charlie Sheen, 6 of 10. Strike a pose. Sebastian Walcott, 1 of 7. Ryan Waldschmidt, 1 of 6. Caleb Bomer, 3 of 10. Quentin Young, 2 of 8. Gary Gill-Hill, 1 of 5. And Cito Gaston, Joe Carter, dual auto, 7 of 9. That'll be going to random.org at the end of the break. Stay tuned for that. Got either of those guys. Box number 8. Don Mattingly, 2 of 6. Gavin Turley, 6 of 8. Carter Johnson, 3 of 3. Jake Bloss, 7 of 7. Kyle DeBarge, 7 of 8. Luke Dickerson, 3 of 4. And Charlie Sheen, DB Sweeney, 1 of 6, dual auto. Boom. I'll also be going to random.org at the end of the break. Will Gasparino, 8 of 9. Bo Jackson, 1 of 10. Dean Moss, 1 of 5. Daniel Espanio, 1 of 2. Caden Dana, 8 of 10. Brooks Lee, 2 of 2. And Paul Skeens, strike a pose, 4 of 10. Final box of the break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Trey Phelps, 10 of 10. Leo DeVries, 4 of 7. Boston Bateman, 6 of 7. Printing plate, 1 of 1 for Trent Caraway. Miguel Blaze, 3 of 3. Caleb Lomavita, 4 of 9. And Christian Campbell, 2 of 3. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break, as always. Do have more of this, as well as other baseball products up and running. So look forward to having you back in here for some of those. And now for the hits. Liam Peterson, Ronald Acuna, AJ Garcia, Landon Rupp, Brody Brecht, Eduardo Tate, Rensoro Sasaki, Malcolm Moore, Carson Benj, Jason Churio, Jacob Melton, Chase Burns, Kobe Mayo, Leo DeVries, Adolfo Sanchez, Jordan Lawler, Chase Petty, Chris Cortez, Peter Montero, Henry Lillane, Jesus Made, RJ Austin, Ethan Petrie, Noble Meyer, Yanquiel Fernandez, Lenny Dykstra, Griffo Farrell, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Devin Taylor, Mike Schmidt, Gavin Gravak, David Matoma, Walker Yanek, Tyson Lewis, Connor Griffin, Brendan Summerhill, Jeff Bagwell, Joe Zalugo, Braylon Payne, Luis Morales, Drake Baldwin, Charlie Sheen, Dylan Cruz, Sebastian Walcott, Ryan Waldschmidt, Caleb Bomer, Quentin Young, Gary Gill-Hill, Don Mattingly, Gavin Turley, Carter Johnson, Jake Bloss, Kyle DeBarge, Luke Dickerson, Will Gasparino, Bo Jackson, Dean Moss, Daniel Espanio, Caden Dana, Brooks Lee, Paul Skeens, Trey Phelps, Leo DeVries, Boston Bateman, Trent Caraway, Miguel Blaze, Caleb Lomavita, Christian Campbell. And for the multis, going to random.org, Cito Gaston, Joe Carter, and Charlie Sheen, DB Sweeney. All right, that is it for baseball. Thank you guys so much. Yet again, spending a little bit of your Saturday morning here with us. We're going to get random.org queued up, get these guys knocked out, and then we are on to Leaf in the Game Used Multisport here in about 4 or 5 minutes. Get you guys back here for that if you are in it. All right, we've got Ren of the Door queued up and good to go. Gonna roll some dice. Gotta be through or high to be valid for us. We're gonna go 5 times on each random, starting off with Cito Gaston and Joe Carter. That is 4 times. Hello? Okay. That's 3 times. Okay, that's 4 times. Can we get nothing? Okay, that's 5 times. There we go. Joe Carter. That's interesting. All right, Charlie Sheen and DB Sweeney. 5 times. That's 4 times. That's 5 times. And that is DB Sweeney taking it home. Congratulations to both of the winners. We are on to Leap in the Game Use Multisport here in just a second. Gonna get that set up and good to go. Alright, welcome everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we've got one case of 2024 Leaf in the Game used Multisport to go. Hard to get into. When we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, bmc.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know we'll go live and eBay Live. Also, need to mention no purchase necessary for link down in the description. Box number 1, Scottie Pippen, 8 out of 12. 1 of 2, Jim Kelly. 1 of 2, Ed Too Tall Jones. That's a sick patch. Octo, 12 of 15. Erling Haaland, Ederson, Kylian Mbappe, Marcus Rashford, Endrick, Kareem Benzema, Vinicius Jr., and Jude Bellingham. And 12 of 25, Giannis Auto. Mike Trout, 12 of 30. 3 of 25, Shaquille O'Neal. Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups, Yao Ming, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, and Steve Nash, 20 out of 40. Riddick Bowe, 48 out of 50. Patch Auto, and Jalen Milroe, 2 of 15. Lucas Paquetá, 9 out of 60. Ken Griffey Jr., 3 of 60. I'll just pop that bad boy on the back. Larry Bird, 2 of 4. Jim Kelly, 9 of 9. Once upon a time in Buffalo. And 16er, Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr., Hank Aaron, Albert Pujols, Willie Mays, Jim Tomey, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Rafael Palmeiro, Manny Ramirez, Frank Robinson, Harmon Killebrew, Reggie Jackson, and Mike Schmidt. Career home run leaders. That will be a fun random. Good luck to everybody involved in that. Michael Strahan, 4 of 25. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1 of 2. Rip Hamilton, Sean Marion, Ron Artest, and Andre Kirilenko, 37 out of 40. Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, John McEnroe, 17 of 40. And Quad Patch Auto, 8 of 8. Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Fred McGriff, and Andrew Jones. Boom for the Braves. Box number 5. Harry Kane, 36 of 60. Joker, 4 of 5. Oh, wow, we're doubling up. Hold up. Wayne Rooney, 12 of 25. Gabriel Jesus, 4 of 25. And behind Joker, another one. Oh, unfun for me, but great for y'all. Ted Williams, Tim Raines, Luis Gonzalez, Reggie Jackson, Robinson Cano, Steve Garvey, Vladimir Guerrero, Ernie Banks, Manny Ramirez, Joe Morgan, David Ortiz, Frank Thomas, Todd Helton, Fred McGriff, Ted Simmons, and Jeff Kent. All-time hits leaders. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 1/60. Patrick Ewing, 4/60. Oh my. Oh, okay, no. This is an octet. Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Bo Jackson, Don Drysdale, Gil Hodges, Shaquille O'Neal, and Duke Schneider. The Town, 14/30. Patch Auto, Tyreek Hill, 3/15. And Dame, 2/2. But there's no way they're going to give us 3/16 patches. Robin Roberts, Don Drysdale, Bob Gibson, Juan Marshall, 4/7. Mike Trout, 37/50. 20/40. Grant Hill, Vince Carter, Ray Allen, Jeff Hornacek, Patrick Ewing, and Maurice Cheeks. 6/15. Walt Frazier, Once Upon a Time in New York. And Ant-Man, Galaxy of Stars, 20/20. Box number 8. James Harden, 23/25. Randy Johnson, 16/50. Jude Bellingham, 23/35. 1/2. What a patch. Ederson. Boom. And dual auto, 2/3, Rick Barry and Walt Frazier. Box number 9. Nolan Ryan, 8/25. Pete Rose, 4/5. Game used grades for Giannis, Tyler Hero, Joker, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, Steph, and Jimmy Butler. 9/30, Juju Lewis. And 4/9, patch auto for Robert Lewandowski. And final box of the break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. After this, we'll do a hit recap and then take care of all the randoms. $4.60, Giannis. Don Drysdale and Dizzy Dean, 6/25. 2/5, Elton Brand, Juwan Howard, Giannis, Grant Hill, Steve Nash, and Sheed. 2/30, the Nomad, Shavkat Rachmanov. And final card of the break, Once Upon a Time in Minnesota, 5/9, Random Mouse. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the break, as always. And we've got a hit recap coming your way here in just a second. For the hits, Scottie Pippen, Jim Kelly, Ed Too Tall Jones, Giannis, Mike Trout, Shaquille O'Neal, Riddick Bowe, Jalen Milroe, Lucas Paquetá, Ken Griffey Jr., Larry Bird, Jim Kelly, Michael Strahan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Gabriel Jesus, Nikola Jokic, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Patrick Ewing, Tyreek Hill, Damian Lillard, Mike Trout, Walt Frazier, Anthony Edwards. James Harden, Randy Johnson, Jude Bellingham, Ederson, Nolan Ryan, Pete Rose, Juju Lewis, Robert Lewandowski, Giannis, Shavkat Rachmanov, Randy Mouse. And for all of the multis, of which we do have a lot, all of which are going to random.org. Rick Barry, Walt Frazier, Dizzy Dean and Don Drysdale, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, John McEnroe, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Fred McGriff, and Andrew Jones. Rip Hamilton, Sean Marion, Ron Artest, and Andre Karolinko. Robin Roberts, Don Drysdale, Bob Gibson, and Juan Marshall. Elton Brand, Juwan Howard, Giannis, Grant Hill, Steve Nash, and Rasheed Wallace. Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups, Yao Ming, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, and Steve Nash. Gary Hill, Vince Carter, Ray Allen, Jeff Hornacek, Patrick Ewing, and Maurice Cheeks. Erling Haaland, Ederson, Kylian Mbappe, Marcus Rashford, Endrick, Kareem Benzema, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham. Kobe, Kareem, LeBron, Bo Jackson, Don Drysdale, Gil Hodges, Shaq, and Duke Schneider. Giannis, Tyler Hero, Joker, Joel Embiid, KD, Karl Anthony Towns, Steph, and Jimmy Butler. And the 2/16 patchers. Ted Williams, Tim Raines, Luis Gonzalez, Reggie Jackson, Robinson Cano, Steve Garvey, Vladimir Guerrero, Ernie Banks, Manny Ramirez, Joe Morgan, David Ortiz, Frank Thomas, Todd Helton, Fred McGriff, Ted Simmons, and Jeff Kent. And Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr., Hank Aaron, Albert Pujols, Willie Mays, Jim Thome, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Rafael Palmeiro, Manny Ramirez, Frank Robinson, Harmon Killebrew, Reggie Jackson, and Mike Schmidt. All right. That will do it for us for today. Thank you guys so much for being here, being part of the break. We're going to get random.org pulled up real quick and knock these out. It'll take a little bit of time to get them all typed up, but we'll get there. All right, we'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. Depends on how long it takes to type these. All right, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Good to figure hard to be valid for us. We're going to go 6 times on the randoms. Starting off with Rick Barry, Walt Frazier. That is 5 times. Final roll. Walt Frazier coming out on top. Dizzy Dean and Don Drysdale. Final roll. Dizzy Dean coming out on top. Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer and John McEnroe. That's 4 times. Final roll. Roger Federer coming out on top. Oh, wait. Ah, okay. Hang on. I lied to you guys. I thought it was 5. It's still Dizzy Dean for this one. And it's still Roger Federer for this one, which is just impressive. Good job, team. All right, 6 times. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Robin Roberts, Don Drysdale, Bob Gibson, Juan Marichal. That is 5 times. Final roll. Robin Roberts staying on top. Rip Hamilton, Sean Marion, Ron Artest, and Andrei Kirilenko. 5 times. Final roll. Rip Hamilton staying on top. All these are kind of weird. What are we doing here, random.org? What kind of luck are you giving out? Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Fred McGriff, and Andrew Jones. That is 5 times. Final roll. Greg Maddux staying on top. Grant Hill, Vince Carter, Ray Allen, Jeff Hornacek, Patrick Ewing, and Mo Cheeks. Fantastic name, by the way. 6 times. That is Grant Hill coming out on top. Ray Allen, Chauncey Billups, Yao Ming, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, and Steve Nash. Chauncey Billups coming out on top. That's 6 times. Elton Brand, Juwan Howard, Giannis, Grant Hill, Steve Nash, and Sheed. That's 4 times, 5 times. And Elton Brand coming out on top. Giannis, Tyler Hero, Joker, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. That's 5 times. Final roll. Joel Embiid coming out on top. Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Bo Jackson, Don Drysdale, Gil Hodges, Shaq, and Duke Schneider. That's 5 times. Final roll. There's LeBron James staying on top. Congratulations. Erling Haaland, Ederson, Kylian Mbappe, Marcus Rashford, Endrick, Kareem Benzema, Vinicius Jr., and Jude Bellingham. That is 5 times. Final roll. Marcus Rashford taking it home. Congratulations. And for the first of the big boys, Barry Sanders, Babe Ruth, Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr., Hank Aaron, Albert Pujols, Willie Mays, Jim Thome, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Rafael Palmeiro, Manny Ramirez, Frank Robinson, Harmon Killebrew, Reggie Jackson, Mike Schmidt. That is 5 times. Final roll. It is Barry Sanders coming out on top. Congratulations. Ted Williams, Tim Raines, Luis Gonzalez, Reggie Jackson, Robinson Cano, Steve Garvey, Vladimir Guerrero, Ernie Banks, Manny Ramirez, Joe Morgan, David Ortiz, Frank Thomas, Todd Helton, Fred McGriff, Ted Simmons, and Jeff Kent. 16 Patrick coming up. That is 5 times. Final roll. Ted Williams coming out on top. Congratulations. All right, that will do it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being part of the breaks. As always, this has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. So have a great weekend up ahead of you, and we'll catch you in the next one. Till next time, everybody.